A federal judge ordered Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., who goes by Pooh Shiesty, to stay in custody after federal officials brought kidnapping and robbery charges against him.
Fox 4 Stephen Dial was in the courtroom today. He is outside tonight with more details on what happened. Stephen?
Steve, I sat directly behind Lontrell Williams Jr., who you guys said goes by the rap name Pooh Shiesty, for the entire hearing in the very small, tightly packed courtroom. And after back and forth from the prosecution and the defense, the federal judge said that she found probable cause in the alleged kidnapping and robbery charges that Williams Jr. faces and involving Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane. And as the FBI special agent was giving testimony, I could see Williams Jr. shaking his head multiple times in disagreement with all of the allegations being laid out against him. This incident happened back in January, and federal officials actually charged and arrested multiple individuals, including Williams' father and another rapper known as Big 30 and other suspects last week. Williams has a record deal with Atlanta rapper Gucci Mane under the new 1017 record label. The FBI says that Pooh Shiesty pointed an AK-style pistol while demanding to be released from his contract. Investigators say that they were able to track Williams from his ankle monitor and photos suspects allegedly posted on social media. In court, Williams Jr. legal team argued that there's many holes in the FBI's narrative of what happened.
We didn't hear today is there is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more.
Got denied bond. A reporter who was sitting directly behind him in that small, tightly packed federal courtroom said that as the FBI special agent laid out every single allegation against him, the kidnapping, the robbery, the AK-style pistol, Pooh Shiesty was shaking his head over and over, disagreeing with everything. But it didn't matter. The judge looked this man dead in the face and told him she cannot find a single condition to offer him that hasn't already been granted. No house arrest, no ankle monitor, no bond, nothing. He's done. He is sitting in a federal cell right now. And based on what came out of that courtroom Wednesday, this man might not see freedom for decades. We're talking about potential life in federal prison. Life, not state time. Federal time, no parole. And the part that makes this whole thing gut-wrenching, he just got out. This man did 3 years on gun charges, walked out of federal prison in October 2025 with an ankle monitor strapped to him, and according to prosecutors, used that freedom to allegedly set up an armed robbery and kidnapping on the CEO of his own record label, the man who signed him, the man who put him on, Gucci Mane. His lawyer came out swinging after the hearing, telling reporters they got no contract, no video of any signing, no guns recovered, no jewelry recovered, none of the physical evidence. But the judge still said probable cause exists, and now Pooh Shiesty is behind bars with no way out. So let me break this whole thing down for y'all, because the courtroom details are wild. The defense is already poking holes, and the streets have not stopped talking since April 1st. Let's get into it. To understand how we got here, we need to go back, way back. Pooh Shiesty, real name Lontrell Williams Jr., is a Memphis rapper who blew up under Gucci Mane's 1017 Records. That's Gucci's label. Gucci signed this man, gave him a platform, and Pooh Shiesty ran with it. Back in Blood went crazy. The whole Shiesty season run had the streets on lock. No
Bay Harbor Islands with what investigators say led up to that shootout. Jessica.
It was a shooting in the middle of the day involving a well-known rapper, according to police. We reported this story back in October, but now we're seeing how it all went down. Bullets fly in broad daylight. 2 people shot and over $500,000 in exotic cars, all of it caught on camera. This surveillance video is from an October 9th shooting in Bay Harbor Islands, and it has a recording artist who goes by Pooh Shiesty in hot water. Shiesty, whose real name is Lontrell Williams, was arrested a few days later. He and a member of his entourage charged with aggravated battery with a deadly
firearms conspiracy charge and got hit with a 63-month federal sentence. That's over 5 years, gang. He ended up serving about 3 of those years and got released in October of 2025. The feds strapped an ankle monitor on him immediately. Can't possess firearms, can't commit any new crimes. Basic stuff that
New at 6, Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty is out of federal prison. Court records show the Memphis native, whose real name is Lantrell Williams Jr., was released from a Pennsylvania facility after serving time for a gun charge in Florida. Williams was sentenced in 2022 to just over 5 years for conspiring to possess firearms tied to drug trafficking and violent crimes. His attorney confirmed the release, saying he's eager to return to the studio and make new music.
But that's where you be wrong. Because according to federal prosecutors, within months of being released, Pooh Shiesty allegedly started planning something that would change his life forever, and not in a good way. See, the relationship between Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane had been falling apart for months. There were tensions over the contract. Pooh Shiesty reportedly wanted out of his deal with 2017 Records, and things were getting heated. Social media subliminals, industry whispers, the energy was off. Everybody in the culture could feel it, but nobody, and I mean nobody, expected it to go where it went. This is where it gets crazy. On January 10, 2026, Gucci Mane and 2 associates flew out to Dallas, Texas. They thought they were going to a business meeting at a recording studio, a professional sit-down to discuss contract terms and work out whatever issues existed between Gucci and Pooh Shiesty. That's what they were told. That was the understanding. But according to federal prosecutors, that meeting was a setup from the jump. Let me break this down for y'all step by step, because the details in this federal affidavit are absolutely insane. Gucci Mane and his 2 associates walk into this Dallas recording studio expecting a business conversation. Pooh Shiesty is there, his father, Lantrell Williams Sr. is there, Memphis rapper Big 30, real name Rodney Wright Jr. is there, and according to the feds, at least 6 other people are there too, several of whom travel from Memphis specifically for this. Now here's where it goes left. Pooh Shiesty allegedly asked to speak with Gucci privately in one of the recording rooms, just the 2 of them, plus his father and Big 30. That's already suspicious, right? You pulled a label boss into a back room with your people. But Gucci goes in, and according to the affidavit, once that door closed, Pooh Shiesty pulled out contract termination paperwork and told Gucci to sign it. When Gucci refused, or they started arguing about it, Pooh Shiesty allegedly pulled out what appeared to be an AK-style pistol and forced Gucci Mane to release at gunpoint. But that's not even the crazy part. After forcing Gucci to sign the paperwork, Pooh Shiesty allegedly took his wedding ring, his watch, his earrings, and his cash, just stripped the man of everything. And then when they came out of that back room, the other defendants allegedly pulled out firearms on the 2 remaining victims. One of them, identified in court documents only as MM, was reportedly choked to near unconsciousness. Big 30 allegedly blocked the studio door with his body to make sure nobody could leave. Think about that for a second. This wasn't some spontaneous street altercation. According to federal prosecutors, this was a coordinated armed takeover. Multiple people with firearms, blocked exits, physical violence, forced signing of legal documents. They're calling it kidnapping, gang. Federal kidnapping charges. And that carries serious time. Now here's what makes the whole setup even more suspicious. According to the feds, several of the
complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lantrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
January 10th, the streets started buzzing. Rumors were everywhere, but the feds didn't move immediately. They took their time. 3 whole months they sat on this. And here's the thing that made Pooh Shiesty's situation 10 times worse. He was wearing an ankle monitor the entire time. The same ankle monitor the feds put on him as a condition of his supervised release from the gun case, which means federal investigators had electronic monitoring data that placed him at that Dallas recording studio on January 10th. They literally tracked his movements. The government had receipts on his exact location during the alleged crime. You can't make this up. And then on April 1st, 2026, the FBI moved, and they moved hard. FBI agents executed a federal search and arrest warrant at the Williams family home in Cordova, Tennessee. That's a Memphis suburb. Local news crews captured the whole scene. Heavy law enforcement presence starting around 9 a.m. Agents going in and out of the property for hours. Neighbors reported hearing flashbangs.
This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon.